Great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first class for financial modeling. And really excited to see people waking up early. Few of them are still in a sleep. है ना, कुछ लोग ऐसे नींद में बैठे हैं जैसे I can feel them out. But हाँ, रिकॉर्डिंग अवेलेबल होगी, हाँ होगी, बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि छोड़ के चले जाएंगे सोने. हेलो. ठीक है, तो इट इज वेरी beneficial for you guys to understand the importance of a live class, because in live class we will be performing a lot of financial models. We'll be ensuring that you are going to be working with me on a lively basis, right? And I'll be giving you some assignments every day so that side by side हमारे models भी ready हो जाएं. By the class is completed, you will be ready, or you will be in a state to make an independent financial model of all the whichever company you want, not all the company, whichever company you want, right? That is what our end goal is all about, right? So those who have connected from a laptop, request you to, it would be great, request you to every one of you to please connect from a laptop so that if you can perform, right? अगर कुछ आपको करने के लिए task दिया जाए in Excel, you can do the same. Now, one of the basic questions, sir, what all things will be needed in the class? Nothing, only a laptop with a Microsoft Excel and a 2007 and above. That's it. Okay, उसके अलावा I don't think कि कुछ और चीजें की जरूरत है. I can see a lot of my interns have also joined. They have literally helped me out a lot to ensure that this course is completed, right? So at the end of the class, इनके लिए हम लोग एक बार जोरदार तालियां भी बजाएंगे, yes, so that they can stay till the end of the class and they can give me a live feedback. Great. So before we start in, 2-3 things important, because since we are going to be performing live on Excel, right? So many a times you'll be feeling like, sir, kuch chhoot gaya hai, right? Or I need to see this again. So recording is for sure available. That's not an issue. Also, after the class, we'll have a doubt solving session where we'll be ensuring that if you missed out anything, you can be performing on the things which are left out. Also, we'll tell you during the class that you need to have you need to think on one of the company. मतलब आपको एक अपना एक प्यार ढूंढना है with which you can perform the financial model, right? So I'll tell you how you're gonna be finding your true love for one of the company. ठीक है? So great. I hope everyone is excited for the class. And if you're excited, just write excited in the chat box. Please, sir, can we connect from our 2 devices? Yes, you can connect from a phone and one from a laptop. If you're excited, just write excited in the chat box. Great. I can see morning excitements coming in. Someone is having a coffee and or whatnot. Perfectly fine. I love coffee in the morning. Okay, great. Now, let's start from a very basic, right? And I don't know how many of you must be or are aware of what exactly the financial modeling is all about. Okay, just a second. Let me present my screen. Oh my God, that's look great. I hope my face is also visible to you guys. My screen and my face. मैं छुप गया क्या? Okay, just a second. Can you see my screen or can you see myself? अच्छा मुझे नहीं दिख पा रहे हो. एक second. Screen is not visible. Just a second. Don't worry. Let me check. Ha, perfectly fine. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? Yes. Yes, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Yes, my screen is visible. Welcome to Financial Modeling and Valuation class. Now, first question. Oh my God, sir, what is financial modeling? Anyone in the house can answer this, right? If they want to answer this, they can unmute themselves. Sir, what is financial modeling? करने क्या वाले हैं in next 6 upcoming live classes? What exactly the financial modeling is all about? इतनी हवा बनी हुई है मार्केट में कि financial modeling किया क्या? If you want to get into IB, if you want to get into consulting, if you want to get into good companies out, you need to have a good idea of financial modeling. But what exactly is financial modeling? Anyone can think or anyone can write their answers in a chat box. Let's see. What do you think?
The valuation of a company.
Valuation of company. Okay. What else? What else do you think? What else do you think, guys?
I guess it is the future forecast of the company.
Future forecast. Okay.
For next 5 to 10 years, and then making valuation basis on that.
Okay. Got it. A forecast word is important. I love that word. Yes. Okay. What else?
Hi Tanvi here. So basically it might be data analysis of a company. So basically related to numbers or something like that, probably.
Got it. Okay. What else? Someone is saying projections. Okay. Finance projections and forecasting. Okay. Perfectly fine. So I'll give you a definition to as such. I don't love definitions after I studied audit and CA final, but okay, nevertheless, you need to be so sorry for the jokes in the morning. Please accept this type of jokes in the morning because you need to be adaptive to all this. Yes. Now, financial modeling may basically what we are going to be doing is that in financial modeling is simply a tool. It's simply a tool where we are building a business forecast for the business performance. We are building a business forecast for a business performance, right? And we can use many tools, but one of the tool which we are going to be using in our entire class is your favorite Microsoft Excel, right? So we are going to be using an Excel to build a business forecast. We are going to be valuing some of the companies. And in short, if I summarize this, the financial modeling is a process of creating a summary of a company's expenses and earnings in the form of a spreadsheet that can be used to calculate the impact of future events or decision, right? So we'll not go on a theoretical ground. जब इसको practically समझेंगे on a last day, है ना? तो till our last class is completed, you will be understanding that हाँ ये financial modeling होता है. Now moving to the next part. Sir, how exactly our curriculum is divided? Can you please brief us? Can you please brief us what all things we are going to be working on? Right, perfectly fine. So day one, we are going to be working on beta, right? We'll be ensuring that you have a good knowledge of beta. Oh my God, sir, कुछ तो याद आ रहा है levered beta, unlevered beta. Oh my God, sir, SFM. Oh ho. Something sort of will ensure that you revise your beta. Next, then we'll create a normal distribution. Right, how normal distribution is created. We'll check on the basis of one company. I'll pick ITC as a base today, and meanwhile you can select any company of your choice, and then we'll test ki normal distribution banta hai ki nahi. Next is variance analysis, line of best fit, how to develop a line of best fit, and can we predict the share price of some of the companies. Oh my God, kuch to acha hone wala hai. Plus with this we'll be also doing a VAR, value at risk. Okay, I think few people will be like, आज थोड़ा सा SFM का feeling आएगा. Not that. I'll ensure that we are going from a scratch. This is day one. Day two will be covering understanding about the financial statements of a company, how to read financial statements, market price analysis. Based on financial statements, can I understand कि market price कैसे derive हो रहा है? WACC, right? Weighted average cost of capital. KE, KD. Oh, someone is thinking of this, right? KE, KD, right? Don't worry, we'll have a detailed discussion. Then we'll have a discussion on ratio analysis, and we'll start reading and how to build a financial model or projection report for a real estate company. Okay, so one of the model for real estate is going to be started tomorrow. Day three is very important because we'll be building a model for real estate. After completing this, aapka pura FR is going to be revised, mark my words. And also you will be like, okay, I know how to build the numbers. I know how to make a cash flow. I know how to build a balance sheet. I know how to read it out. I know how to forecast this. Okay, and I'll give you one very good format out by which you can build a financial model easily for most of the real estate company. ठीक है, तो अगर आपको कभी कुछ करना रहे in real estate, you will be able to do this. Plus also you can take some of the live assignments from upcoming future clients, right? ठीक है, आपको building banana hai. I am there to help you out. Don't worry, I'll tell you how much money you will earn. Okay? So don't worry, that is something which you're going to be doing. Next is some of the basics of valuation. And with this, we'll also start with the service industry ka valuation model, that how we can build some valuation model for some of the service industry. We'll use a graphy as a industry where I'll tell you how we are going to be doing that. Day 4, very important. Day 4 and day 5, most important part of our class. We'll be picking a live industry where we are going to be taking all the things are going to be done on a live industry. सब कुछ live करेंगे. इसके साथ साथ you are also going to be performing live with me, so that we will complete all the things by the class is done, and you will be in a state, okay sir, I know how to make a models out. This is most important class. We'll be working on DCF projections for MRF. 2 days we'll be working on this, and in fact how to project a revenue for a company. We'll have a discussion for 1.5 hours. Oh my God, सिर्फ revenue कैसे project करते हैं, we'll be discussing 1.5 hours. You can imagine. Okay, so we'll be covering it in very detail. Next, leverage buyout, which is again a part of this. And mostly India में you will not find the deals on LBO, but LBO is nowadays a grooming thing out. So we'll see what LBO is all about. Next, company comparative analysis or comparable company analysis, which is like based on another companies, can I build some of the models? So that is something there. And at the end, we'll work on some other models which are left. Okay, and with this, the day 6 is completed. Tomorrow, you will be giving me the list of company for which you will be building a financial model. Okay, so I'll circulate a Google form and I'll ask you guys, tell me your Lela in terms of which is the company for which you're going to be making a financial model. And by the end of our class, we'll also check that have you or were you in a stage to make some of the financial models or project some of the numbers for that company. I hope this sounds exciting to you guys, the upcoming next 6 days journey. I hope this sounds exciting to you. Sir, in IB all financial modeling. Sir, is IB all about financial modeling? Acha. Got it. Don't worry, we'll cover everything in detail. But IB, most of the thing which is needed, we are going to be covering this in very detail. Okay, perfect. Someone is saying, sir, super excited. I am super excited. Meri neend bhag gayi. I am awake. Ask me questions. Don't worry, I'll trouble you. Okay. भूमिका अभी नींद से उठ रही है. अच्छा, टेंशन ना लो. Okay, perfectly fine. How is the Josh? How is the Josh? How is the Josh? Right. Can anyone mention the Josh? Right. Now, before I start in, was just wanted to check with you guys how much you will rate yourself in Excel on scale of 1 to 5. Just rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 for Excel. Okay. Just rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 for Excel. Okay. Someone is saying 2. I'll rate 3. Very, very low. Oh my God. Aisa na bolo. Right. Because we'll need a good Excel skills during this upcoming days. अच्छा, कुछ लोग अभी भी छुप छुप के बैठे हैं, ऐसे बिस्तर से लेटे लेटे देख रहे हैं, राइट? यू आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू वेक अप एंड यू आर सपोज्ड टू कीप योर वीडियोस ऑन. ओके, समवन इज सेइंग 3.5, 4, 2, 1. Okay, now I'll give, since before we start the class, I need to ensure that everyone is on the same page, and that is why we'll start with some of the basics for Excel for next 5 odd minutes. Okay, some of the basics for Excel for 5 odd minutes. Then after that is done, we'll move to our class. Okay, thoda sa basics batana mere liye is very important because that is going to be helping you out as well, and that is also going to be helping others also to set some of the important things, right? When we know it's just a tip of iceberg. Acha, theek hai bhai, subah subah itne English na likhe, people would be scared of to read all this. Theek hai, got it. Great. So I'll perform some of the Excel formulas, some of the Excel functions out. You are supposed to see in the screen, है ना? Just watch my screen. देखो. Now after that is done, you can perform it during the break time, or you can perform it after the class. ठीक है, साथ में करोगे तो कुछ अलग ही हो जाएगा, right? मैं तीसरे फॉर्मूला पे चल रहा हूँ. You will be running at a first formula. Sir, do we need to make a copy for this? Yes, the answer is yes. Please do make some of the copies. And then no SFM pages books allowed. Try to ensure that you have created a new notebook. कुछ लोग मुझे बड़े ऐसे नींद में देख रहे हैं. उठ जाओ चांदनी, इतने नींद में ना देखो. ठीक है? Yes. चलो, great. Now, I'll open my Excel workbook. Few important formulas which I want you to understand before we start the class. If you feel like I'm going fast, you can just stop me anytime. I'll be happy to control my speed. Okay. Let's start with our class, the financial modeling class. Perfectly fine. Aaja bhai. Okay. ये क्या हो रहा है? Got it. Great. I hope my screen is visible to you guys. Okay. I hope my screen is visible to you guys. Now, before we start the financial modeling class, let's take one promise. I want a promise from all of you. I want every one of you to unmute yourself. I want every one of you to unmute yourself and take a promise, take an oath that I take a promise that I will try avoiding mouse during when I'm using an Excel.
I will avoid mouse.
Avoid using mouse. Yes, sir.
I'll avoid
using mouse.
I'll avoid using mouse.
Yes, sir.
I will avoid using mouse.
Okay, got it. Someone said I'll avoid using Excel. Acha. Got it. You're not supposed to avoid using Excel. You're supposed to avoid using avoid using
Mouse.
Mouse.
Okay, got it.
Okay, no mouse.
Fine. Yes. So you are expected to use more of the formulas in Excel because that is something which is going to be improving your speed. That is something which is going to be needed if you want to build a financial model ASAP. Right now, very important. I'll present my screen side by side. You can note it down, or if you feel like, hey, sir, this is something new which I'm learning for my first time, you can note it down in your notebook. Now, many times you'll find me that I'll be using, see, many times you'll find that कि मैं ये बंद ही रखता हूँ because I know most of the formulas which is there, right? So I keep this off, but I'll keep it on for the folks, those who don't know this, है ना? तो ज़्यादा बार मैं on रखूँगा so that the people can understand that what I'm using for. Next, very important. Let's start with very basics. See, if you see the top, right? This is called as a quick access toolbar, right? Now, this is something where you can put any of the formulas or any of the tools which are available. You can easily ping it here. So I've already pinged few of the tools on the top quick access toolbar because that is something which helps me to save my time. Okay, that is something which helps me to save a time. Now, say for example, if I'm going to some new sheet, I'll press Control N. Right after I go to new sheet, if I want to remove a grid line, what I do is that Alt 6. I do not need to go to longer formulas and stuff. I have created my own formulas because that used to save my time. Can I use the another formula to remove the grid lines? The answer is yes, but I will use a different formulas. Okay, because that's used to save my time. Say for example, if I want to color a cell, I have two options. I can click Alt 1, which is there, right? I can choose any of the color which is there, or I can do Alt H and then H, and then you can select a color. Okay, there are multiple options available, but to save a time, but to increase the speed, what I've done is that I have put some of the important and common things on a quick access toolbar. So the major things which we will be using mostly is a color. Second is the borders, which is important, right? You can put it on a quick access toolbar. Save button, most important thing in Excel, mark my words. It's not a Google sheet, it's a Excel. Excel needs to be saved every time after you work on something. Next is your font color. Okay, again your undo, redo, then your view option. Then you'll be able to find out some duplicate values, some hidden sheets, unhidden sheets, right? This is again most important, edit links, which showcase that have you put some external links or not. After that is done, you will find trace dependents, remove dependents, and grouping and all this. Okay, so don't worry, during the classes and when we move forward, you will be able to understand. But what I'm trying to tell you that you're supposed to use a quick access toolbar if you want to increase your speed. Okay. Next, very simple. Say for example, if there are numbers written, you know, so or you say for example, before I go into this, I'll tell you a lot of shortcuts which I used, right? And before that, side by side, you can also check it out. To put some of the very good shortcuts, what I will do, I'll go to files, right? I'll go to options. Once I go to the options, there you will be able to find two important things, right? The first thing which I want all of you to do is that you are supposed to go to your proofing section. In proofing section, what I have done is that I have put a lot of autocorrect option. Okay, so whichever company will be performing a financial model, what I'll do, I'll put some of the short forms. Say for example, if I write ITC, I should get ITC Limited. Okay, I should not waste my time in writing a full form of the company, right? Say for example, I have written for particulars. If I want to write a particulars, as I'm going to be writing PAR, it's going to be coming particulars, right? After that is done, you can put any of the replacements which is there. This is going to be helping you to save a hell lot of time, right? If you want to save your time, this is something which is important, and this is, I'll request you to please put some of the common things out. So, jo bhi company ka, whichever company you're going to be making a financial model, you're going to be putting the replacements for this, so that's going to be saving your time. Okay, that is done. Next. Next, very important, Control D and Control R. It's very common, right? Say for example, some number is written, and if you want to scroll it down, you're going to be pressing a Control D. Achha. If you want to get it over a row, you're going to be pressing a Control R. It's so simple. ऐसा कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Macros पे I'll come later. How to set up a macros and how this is important, because अभी शुरू में I'll tell you macro, so you'll be like, oh my god, this is very new, right? So don't worry. Very important, how to rename a tab. Once you enter this out, point to be remembered, guys, is you're working on Excel. Okay. Now, whenever you work on Excel, point number one, please check that you're not working on a CSV file. Okay. Avoid working on a CSV file because data is not going to be stored. So, just after 5 minutes down the line, I'll start downloading a data from a lot of websites to work on some financial model, to build something out. So please ensure that once I download the data, it should not be in a CSV file. I request you, I prefer using in a binary format, because binary the file size is going to be reduced. That's going to be saving a lot of your time. Okay. Next, how to rename your tab? Very simple, right? I'll just cover kar deta hu. Now, how to rename your tab? Very simple. Alt HOR. Alt HOR, so you'll be able to rename your tab. Please do not use mouse. Sir, will you give a list of formulas for the shortcuts which you are supposed to use? The answer is yes. Now, next important tab, which is going to be very helpful in this entire financial modeling classes, you are supposed to turn on your add-ins, which is available. Now, I'll request all of you to, if you are connected from a laptop, side by side, you can turn this on. Go to file. Once you go to file, click on options. Once you click on options, right, there you will be getting some of the options for add-ins, right? Just go to add-ins. I'll request you to go to add-ins now. Side mein saath mein kar lo, please. Go to add-ins. Once you go to the Excel add-ins, click there. You'll be able to see the analytics tool pack and solvers. I'll request you to please turn this on because that is something which we'll need in our classes. ठीक है, अभी ऑन कर लो इसको. I'll repeat this again. Those who have missed this out. ठीक है, कुछ लोग बढ़िया से नाश्ता कर रहे हैं, कोई बात नहीं. ठीक है, go to options. Once you go to options, click on add-ins. Once you click on add-ins, go to manage Excel add-ins. Click go. Once you click on go, click analytical toolbar, tool pack and solver. इनको add कर दो. After you add this out in data tab, you'll be able to see this on a right hand corner. You'll be able to see this on a right hand corner. We'll need this in our today's class. If you're done with this, just write done in a chat box so that I'll get to know you have completed with this. If you're done with this, just write done in a chat box. लिखो ना, अरे लिख भी दो. हाँ, if you're done with this, just write done in a chat box. I'm waiting for every one of you. Got it. Last 2 seconds. 1, 2, done. Perfectly fine. I hope you have done with this. Okay. साथ में कर लो, नहीं तो पीछे रह जाओगे. अगर नहीं समझाए तो you can put it in a chat box. Can you please repeat? I'll be happy to do that. Can you please tell again? Okay. Repeat. File. Go to file. After you go to file, you are supposed to go to the options. Right? After you go to the options, you are supposed to go to add-ins. After you go to add-ins, right, there you will be able to see Excel add-ins. There will be able to see the Excel add-ins. Click on go. Right? After you click on go, click on analysis tool pack and solver. Okay. After you do this, click OK. After you click OK, you will be able to see it on a top right hand corner. I hope this is done. Okay. Perfectly fine. Yes. Let's move ahead. So this is done. Now, many times, if you're going to be putting some of the formulas, right, if you're applying any of the formula, how to check that the cells are formula linked or not? The golden rule in our financial modeling is that your model should be flexible. Please understand this. If you're building a financial model, it should be very, very flexible. What does the flexibility means? Flexibility means that if I change one of the formula, will the other things going to be changed? I'll give you an example. Say, for example, 1 equal to 1 plus 1. What I'm doing, I'm putting a serial number. Now, say, for example, if I change this to 5, will all the numbers below this are going to be changing? The answer is yes. Sab change ho gaye. What I did, I was building a flexibility for upcoming things out. Now, very important, how to see that the things are linked with some formulas. You can press control and 1 ke baaju mein ek number hai, right? That is something which you can press. And after that is done, you will be able to see the formulas which are linked to. Okay. Control and 1 के बाजू में आपको एक arrow की मिलेगा, है ना? This you will find this, right? I don't know what is this pronounced at, but yes, you can check control and this. You will press this out, so you will be able to see are the cells linked to some of the formulas or not, right? And also you can check through dependence and all this, right? So if you want to check it, you'll be able to see that which thing is linked to which. Okay, so in the top corner, मैंने जो लगाया हुआ है, right? Through which you will be able to see that either the things are linked to some other things or not. Okay, trace dependence and all this. Don't worry, we'll have a detailed discussion once we'll move to all this. Okay, next, merging a cell, right? Why merging a cell is important? Because many times you'll be giving a lot of headings, will be downloading some of the company's financials. So we need to merge a cell because at the end of the day, if you make a financial model and if it is not presentable, we need to make it much more presentable out. Okay, so if you want to merge a cell, very simple. And Alt H M C, right? Alt H M C. Say for example, if I am writing particulars. Right, what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to write PAR, automatically particulars aa jayega. Okay, do you remember I've done the formula setting there? I've just added a replacement for PAR. Okay, now if I want to merge this, very simple, Alt H M C. After that is done, you can see the particulars is merged. Now you can Control C or you can Control V. ये आ गया अगर same cell को करना है तो. Or also you can press F4 if needed. ठीक है, तो merging a cell is important. Next is a copy paste. Very simple. बचपन में I think you remember your copy paste, right? Control C, Control V. Nothing to explain, but this is important. Say for example, if I Control C at 9 because it's a formula-driven cell, right? If I copy something from a formula-driven cell and if I paste something at somewhere else, it's gonna be taking some another number. Why? Because it's linked to some other things. So many times you will be doing a paste special. So Control C, right? Alt H V V. And Alt H V, or you can use some of the different formulas which you are aware of. Okay, so it's gonna be taking a hard punch. Okay, next. Now this is great. This is very important. This is something which you'll need many of the time. Say for example, you are getting some of the numbers in the financial. This is what the revenue of one of the company. Okay, this is what the revenue of the company. I have set some of the macros for all this, so automatically comma वगैरह आ जाता है. I will tell you how to do this, but don't worry कि कैसे लाया now. Sir, many a times you need to build your financial in terms of lakhs, or many times you need to build your model in terms of crores, right? Now, I want to convert this number, or I want to convert the entire cell into crores, or I want to convert all my numbers in terms of crores or lakhs. How I'm going to be doing this? So what I'll do, I'll take equal to 10 raised to power 10 and 5 zeros, which again comes to your 1 lakh. Okay. Now what I can do is that I'll copy this. Now what I'll do, Alt H V T. Sorry, just a second. So I'll copy this. What I'm supposed to do is that I want to convert this number into lakhs. Okay, I want to convert this number into lakhs, and there are multiple numbers which I want to convert into lakhs. So what I'm supposed to do, you're supposed to copy 1 lakh. Alt H V. After that is done, you are supposed to press S. Once you press S, then you get a multiple options. What you're supposed to do, either you're supposed to add, multiply, divide, or what? I need to divide it. Right. So after that is done, I'll click on divide. Okay. Once you click on divide, press OK. Right. You can see that this number is divided by 1 lakh. How you can see this? See, press F2 and you'll be able to check it out. Now, manually, it's not possible to do on 1000 numbers or multiple numbers. Imagine that there is a sum of the rent between 1 to some top numbers out. If you put some lot of numbers, imagine that this is what your financial is looking like. Okay. I've done a paste special because rent between it should not change. Now I want to divide 1 lakh by all this, right? Because some numbers को convert करना into lakhs. Very simple. Alt H V, and after that is done, go to S. After that is done, divide. है ना? After that is done, sorry. And Alt C दबा दिया. Alt H V S, and then I. Right? Okay. Press OK. Very simple. Converted into lakhs. This is important if you're making the financial model. Don't worry, I'm telling you this before because बाद में if I'll perform a financial model, that time you will not be like, oh my god, इतनी fast, जादू नहीं, जादू नहीं है मेरे दोस्तों, right? This is what Excel is all about. ठीक है, तो again you can see this 4 if numbers are gonna be divided by this. ठीक है, so this is lakhs, and if you put a 7, it's gonna be in crores. ठीक है, so this is something which you are supposed to aware of. ठीक है, next. I hope my speed is okay to you guys. I hope my speed is okay to you guys. I hope my speed is okay to you guys. If it is okay, just write okay in the chat box. Or if you want me to go slow, you can say slow in a chat box. Okay, okay. Someone is saying okay. ठीक है, टेंशन ना लो. अभी जब आएंगे तब आप देखेंगे कि कितनी स्पीड है आपकी भी. Okay. Now. Special done, divide by fixed number is done. Transpose, right? So if I want to transpose any of the numbers, say for example, if it is in a straight line, I need to put it into the rows into columns, or columns into rows. Very simple. Copy this, Alt H V, and after that is done, you will be able to see the formula for transpose. Alt H V T. Okay, very common, very basic, but many times you will be like, okay, I need to do this. So that is why I'm telling you out. You need to ensure that you're aware of this. Now, next, coming to the freeze, how to freeze the first row out or how to freeze the panels out. Very simple. Alt WFF, right? Say, for example, wherever you want to freeze, I want to freeze this column and I want to freeze this row, right? What I'll do, Alt WFF here. After that is done, you can see that all this first row and the first column is freezed out. Okay? जहां पे भी जाना है, if I want to do here, yeah, I want this 2 rows to be freezed and I want this 2 column to be freezed out, I'll do Alt WFF here. Okay? So it's very simple, no rocket science. Now, this is important. थोड़ा सा ध्यान दो. I have intentionally mixed some easy formula and tough formula so that जिनको एक्सेल आता है will be like, okay, is it simple, but okay, I need to pay attention here. That designed in a very smart way, because I know that few people are very smart and few people need to work on their Excel skills. But don't worry, by the class is over, we'll ensure that you are good command over Excel. Okay, perfectly fine. Now, say for example, let's see the growth of company. 2021 2022. बहुत ध्यान से देखो ये चीज. First year growth was the company's revenue was 100. Let's assume as 100 crore. Second year the company's revenue was 80 crore. Can anyone calculate the growth? Yes, it's very simple. Write this divided by this minus 1. Oh my god, how did you do this? Okay, I'll tell you very basic formula how you are going to be doing this, or there is other formula also, but you will be using this formula only because that's going to be saving our time. Now, how do you do this? Current minus previous divided by previous, right? 80 minus 100 divided by 100. That is something which you are going to be doing, right? A normal mathematics. If you are understanding, you can give a nod to your head, right? Okay, I'm getting this out. वही करोगे, right? 80 normally क्या करते हो आप? Equals to this minus this, right? You'll put it over a brackets. You'll put it in a bracket, and after that is done, you'll divide by, right? You'll divide by what? You'll divide by 100, right? That is something which you're going to be doing. What I did was simple formula, this divided by this minus 1. It's the same thing. It's a mathematics, right? Common kya hai? H17 cell. I removed H17 cell, है ना? And that is something which I did. And if you want to convert it into the percentage, right? Very simple. Alt HP. Okay, after that is done, you will be converting into the percentage. This is the most important formula. Many times you'll be needing this out to calculate the growth of anything. Okay, now this is a formula driven. If I convert it to 120, automatically it will going to be positive number. Okay, so that is something which you should be aware of. Next, coming to the new tab instead of sheet. If you want to create a new tab, very simple, Shift F11. Okay, once you click on Shift F11, you will be able to open a new tab for a portion, and new sheet is Control N. Okay, next, autocorrect. I have told you out. One more thing, very important and a very interesting part. You also need to put a drop down. You need to put some of the drop down many a times, right? आपको drop down डालना पड़ता है because we need to put some choose function or some other functions out. So that time we'll be needing this drop down. Okay. Now how to put a drop down? Very simple. Again, I'll tell you. Please be attention. एक बार हम फिर से try करेंगे सब साथ में. You are supposed to go to data. After you go to data validation. Click on data validation. Once you click on data validation, see the settings portion. After the settings, you will be able to see a list. Okay. And after the list, can you put a list out? I can select yes, whatever you want to do, yes or no. Okay. After that is done, you can see that there's a drop down arrow, right? Drop down aa gaya. And if I want to open a drop down from a laptop, Alt down key. Okay. Very simple. Now I want you to create a drop down real time basis. Request you to please create a drop down. Abhi ek फटाफट एक drop down banao for yes and no in your laptop. Go to your Excel again. Let's do it on a real time. Just go to your Excel. Click on data validation. Once you click on data validation, you'll be able to see the settings. In settings, go at a list. Once you go at a list, select a source as yes or no, or whatever you want to put it. Just put a drop down. उसमें आप लिख दो कि आपको क्या दिखना चाहिए source में, and after that is done, click OK. And after you see that, you'll get an option. You can put any of the things which is here. Just do it on a real time basis. फटाफट करो. Go to Excel. After you're done with this, just write done in a chat box. Okay, I'll put the people, ask randomly for the people, those who have kept their videos off, so that I can trouble them to ensure that they keep their videos on. Or I'll ask them to present the screen and do it on a real time for everyone. Oh my God, that's easy. That is what I'll do for them. Okay. ठीक है, मैं उन लोगों से करवाऊंगा जिन लोग का वीडियो बंद है, and I'll ask them to present a screen and run the formula out. अच्छा, got it. निकिता बोल रही है सर मुझे टर्न दे दो, मैं कर दूंगी. Okay. After you're done with this, just write done in a chat box. Rajveer done क्या? Rajveer, hello Rajveer. Yes. लिखो ना, अरे लिख भी दो. Right. तिशा हो गया क्या? तिशा बोलो ना, कुछ तो बोलो, बोल दो. हो गया एकदम फटाफट कर रहे हो तुम तो, क्या बात है. चलो ग्रेट. हो गया. कोमल आपका हो गया क्या?
हाँ सर.
यस. प्रवीण भाई हो गया क्या? अरे बोलो ना.
No, sir, I don't have this data validation.
अच्छा, you need to turn on then. Which Excel, मतलब which version you are using?
The new one, I think 2020, 21.
Okay, done. आगे बढ़े. Let's move ahead. It's very simple. Right, last 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Right. Got it. Okay, let's move ahead, guys. आगे बढ़े. Perfectly fine. Let's move ahead to some of the important things out for the Excel. Now, basic Excel is done. I'll not trouble you out with basic Excels, because basic Excel is something which is endless, right? I can have a 10-hour class or 15-hour class or 1,000-hour class, right? That is endless. Jitna sikha utna kam hai. But as and when we'll move forward, we'll ensure that you are aware of these things, right? So, jo important tha in upcoming next class, we are going to be using this out. Now, basic Excel completed. Let's move to some of the advanced version. अब आते हैं खेल पे, right? Now, till the time we were discussing very basics. Now, let's move to some of the important things. Now, we'll be doing one of the important thing now, right? We'll be directly going to calculation of this, right? This is our end goal. अभी आप थोड़ी देर बाद you'll be able to form the normal distribution. Okay, I'll be able to make this. You'll be also able to make some of the predictions. Oh my god, this looks cool. I'll be able to make a predicted share price of company. This is our end goal of our class. You'll be able to read this out. That is there. You'll be able to make some of the data like this, and also you'll be able to predict the VAR for the stocks, right? The maximum possible loss, okay, at a given confidence level. Don't worry, I'll explain you at all those things out now. Okay, this is our end goal. Now, very important, side by side, please see the things very carefully, because that is something which we are going to be working on. Okay, now we are going to be downloading the data for the stocks from Yahoo Finance, because a lot of data will be easily available from the Yahoo Finance, and it's in a good downloadable format. Okay, now we'll be using an ITC company as a base to explain you. After that is done, you can pick any of the company of your choice. Okay, you can pick any of the company of your choice, and you're going to be performing this live. Oh my god, that's cool, right? So real time पे आप लोग को बनाना है मेरे साथ, so that we can ensure that you'll be working on the same. But abhi please pay attention on the screen, so that we'll be performing all the things on a real time basis. Okay, what I'll do, I'll go to Yahoo Finance, right? It's available on my search bar, Yahoo Finance. Once you go to Yahoo Finance, you'll be able to see the screen. Okay, please ignore the ads which are there from Yahoo Finance. Now I'll be putting the company's name, ITC, whichever company you want, you can search the same or this. Please do check this before you're going to be choosing this out. कौन से market में choose करना है? हम mostly NSE को base लेंगे, because a lot of tradings and NSE में थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा corrected price रहता है, right? So once you search the company out, you're going to be able to see the data of all the companies here. ठीक है? After you're going to be going this, we are going to be going to the historical data. क्योंकि मुझे पुराना data चाहिए for the company, तो I'll click on a historical data. Now after you go this, it's going to be showing for a time period. Okay, कि कितने duration का आपको database download करना है. Okay, for what duration you need a database. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा ध्यान से देखो, because you will be also doing this. You will need to download a data for the your choice company, your favorite company. After that is done, you're going to be setting a date कि कब से कब तक का चाहिए. You can set the time period. Say for example, I am taking a database from 1st January 2020 to 31st May 2022. 31st May 2022 तक का मैं डेटा ले रहा हूँ. I'll click on done. Once that is done, click on apply. Please do not forget to click on apply. है ना? Please do not forget to click on apply. Now let's see the data. Let's interpret the data, guys. Come on. Let's interpret and see the data very properly. Opening price, closing price, high, low, which they have mentioned. Opening price, closing price, which closing price is this. Opening price is this. There's one more thing which is mentioned is the adjusted close. ठीक है, ITC का शेयर प्राइस दिया गया है. The people those who are not a traders, उनको मैं समझा रहा हूँ. The adjusted closing price. What does adjusted closing price means? The adjusted closing price is gonna be a price. The adjusted closing price is a price which is after a stock split and dividend. Let's see this very carefully. Without adjustments of a stock split and dividend, the closing price was 272. But if you see, there was a dividend given on 26 May 2022. Can you see this? Right? I hope you understand the meaning of a dividend. इतना तो मेरे को assume करना पड़ेगा कि आपको dividend का मतलब पता होता है, right? अगर नहीं पता तो you can ask in a chat box. We'll be happy to help you out. Now you can see that the price has changed, right? Why? Because dividend का impact आ गया है. ठीक है? So if someone good at mathematics, can you do that 272.7 minus 6.25? Does it comes to 266.45? If it comes to 266.45, just write yes in a chat box. Does it comes to 266.45? Yes, perfectly fine. That means we'll be using a adjusted closing price whenever we are using a data, because that is a more correct price. It's a price after a stock split and dividend. But many times you'll be able to see a stock splits or dividends which are given. So we'll be preferring to use the adjusted closing price. Okay. So once you have set this out, right, click on apply. Once you click on apply, click on download. Very simple. No rocket science. Hai na? Once I click on download, you'll be able to see the CSV file. Point to be noted, my lord. CSV file. Will we be working on CSV file? Should we work on CSV file? The answer is no, right? You are supposed to work on some binary file, or you can create XLSX, right? Which is there. So I'll click here. I'll open the data. Khulja Simpson, right? I got a data. Now, what I'll do, I can either save it to XLSB or XLSX, or you can Control C, Control N. After that is done, Control V. Perfectly fine. Okay, you can paste it into new cell. Now, whenever you are going to be starting with, please remember, please save the file. Okay, so I'll browse this out. I'll put it under my day one tab of financial modeling. I'll put working file for ITC, and I can change the type. I'll put it to binary. I prefer it to binary because file size compress हो जाती है, फटाफट काम कर दिया और दिक्कत नहीं आता है. ठीक है, सेव कर दिया. Control A, Alt H O I. That's in the time I do this. पूरा फॉर्मेट हो गया बराबर. Now next, I need to remove a grid line. I have set a formula Alt 6. ठीक है, so you can again set it based on your choice, but that is there. इसके साथ साथ what I have also done is that I have set a macros for all this. As and when I click that macro, automatically पूरा चीज फॉर्मेट हो जाता है. ठीक है, but I'll not use this now. I'll tell you थोड़ी देर में after a while, so that you'll be able to understand. After that is done, some formatting Alt 2. After that is done, everything is border. है ना? Control Q is my macro for putting a color. Automatically color भी ले लिया. ठीक है, and if I press Control Shift, है ना, Control Shift E, automatically it's gonna be formatted to the way I wanted. I'll tell you how to put a macros, but I'm telling you, see, I have set a macro, and that's gonna be saving my hell lot of time. Now, which column is important for me? This adjusted closing price and date is important for me. Now, please do understand, if you're performing a financial model for any company, guys, first important part is a data cleaning, right? Data cleaning सबसे ज़्यादा important है. अगर data clean नहीं होगा, data का validation नहीं होगा, that means something you're doing something wrong. And you need to ensure that data is clean. Okay. Now, what I'll do, right? I'll put a filter. After you put a filter, many a times you will find some of the null value in adjusted closing price. Many a times you will find a null value. Why? Because there might be chances that किसी दिन market बंद होगा, right? So what I'll do, I'll go to end. I'll check that is there any null value. The answer is no. Right? There's no null value in this. Okay. Now, similarly, I'll need a data for the Nifty. Similarly, I'll need a data for Nifty because I'm going to be comparing. Now, say for example, there are two stocks. One is a stock of ITC, which is costing 250 rupees, and assume that ITC cost is somewhere around 250, and another stock which is there of MRF, which is costing somewhere around 79,000. Which stock is good? Can you say which stock is good based on the share price? What do you think? Can I say that the share price of MRF is higher than MRF is good? Arey bolo na. Achha, people are saying, no, sir, it's not possible, sir. You can't say this, sir. Right? Now, to compare any stocks, you need some benchmarking index. Right? And generally, we check what? We compare this with either by return. I'll calculate the return of ITC versus return of MRF. Okay. I'll try to calculate the beta of the stock. Oh my God, beta. SFM. Oh my God. beta of the stock. Don't worry, I'll tell you how to calculate the beta, what exactly is the beta about, right? I'll try to compare the stocks based on some ratios, based on some common parameters. Okay, so I need some of the common parameters whenever I am building out, or whenever I am ensuring that, or whenever I am working on some of the things, right? I need to ensure that I'm bringing the things into the common parameter. I'm bringing the things into the common parameter, right? Now, what I mentioned was I need to check that my data is normally distributed or not, right? I'm going to be checking that whether my data is normally distributed or not. Now, what I'll be doing is that since I'll be referring to this two things, right? I'll be taking the adjusted closing price and a date on a separate sheet so that I can work on the same easily. Right? If you want to convert it into the proper date format, right, you can press Control Shift 3, right? Control Shift 3, which is again going to be helping you to convert it into the proper date format. Control Shift 3. Now, okay, I'll copy this. Shift F11 for new tab. Control V, right? Please ensure that if it is a formula driven, you're going to be doing Control HVV, which is there, but it is currently अभी कोई formula driven नहीं है, तो अगर आप करोगे तो वो पूरा format हिल जाएगा. Then again you can use a format printer and copy the entire formatting which is there. Okay, let's see. Now, sorry, इसका date format में हो गया. I need to convert it to number. Alt H N. आजा भाई. Perfectly fine. It got converted into number. Now, do you remember I told you how to calculate a return? Do you can remember that? How to calculate a return of anything? याद है कि नहीं? Do you remember how to calculate a growth, how to calculate a return, right? So current divided by previous minus 1. Very simple, right? I got a return. If I want to convert it to percentage, I can convert it to percentage. Very simple, right? मेरे को return मिल गया. Now, for the stocks which I have taken, right, I need to check that whether the return of the stock is normally distributed or not. Okay, I hope you understand the meaning of normal distribution, right? I need to check that कि क्या जो stocks है, whether if there is any loss in the stock, whether the loss is on continuous basis or is it sometime, or if there is a gain, right, it's sometime. Okay, so I need to check that whether my data or whether my numbers are normally distributed or not. So what I'll do is that I'll be plotting the pivot table. I'll be plotting the pivot table for this, and after that is done, I'll plot a graph for my pivot table out. Okay, so let's see how I'm going to be doing this. Alt N V, very simple for a pivot table. Enter. After that is done, I'll be needing a return on my row column, and I'll group this return. Whereas, let's see carefully. I need to group this return so that I can put a proper histogram. Okay, I need to group this to check and make the histogram. So you're going to be doing a right click, or you can use your laptop also. FN control, if it is there on your laptop, you can click on a group. Right. After that is done, you can decide the starting point. Ending point is already given. You need to decide at what level you're going to be grouping this out. So let me group at point 2. Let's see how many are coming. Right. It's going to be showing this much. Right. Why it's showing blank? Because the first one is not there. Right. I can either put it 0, and once that is done, I can refresh this out. So again, so sorry, group chala gaya. Again, right click. Once you right click, click on group. Once that is done, I'll be grouped into point 2. You can see this. It's going to be coming in a proper number. Now let's see the frequency of this. Yes. I'll repeat. Don't worry. Don't worry. Right. Let me put the frequency of this. Again, you can put the same here, and automatically there you are supposed to put a count function, so that it's going to be taking a frequency. Now, once that is done, I can see the returns which are there and the frequency of the returns which are there. Okay, which is showing that कि जब loss हो रहा है तो देखो chances कम है. मतलब 3 बार इस range में आया है जब growth negative में था, और जब बहुत ज्यादा growth हुआ तो you can see that कि बहुत rare situation हुआ. But generally if you see जो share price में return आ रहा था is in mainly lying at the middle portion. मतलब कि एक्सेप्शनल ग्रोथ बहुत कम मिलेगी, एक्सेप्शनल लॉस बहुत कम मिलेगा. हेलो, राइट? इफ यू सी अ कंपनी वेयर दिस टू साइड आर हायर, दैट मीन्स समथिंग रॉन्ग इज देयर इन अ कंपनी. प्लीज डू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. यू आर अ फाइनेंशियल एनालिस्ट, गाइस, कम ऑन, यू आर अ फाइनेंशियल एनालिस्ट. व्हाट आई एम डूइंग इज दैट आई हैव कैलकुलेटेड अ रिटर्न. मैंने रिटर्न लिया कंपनीज का, Based on that, I have plotted a return into a proper format where I've grouped the return based on the frequency. Okay. Now for this frequency, I am checking that कि भाई जो loss हो रहा है जब आपका negative return आ रहा है in a share price, whether it's a maximum or minimum. So if I see this, I can see that कि okay, negative side बहुत rare है, positive side बहुत rare है, और जो growth आ रहा है somewhere ranging on the normal range. If you see this two, right, 0.007, which amounts to 0.07%, right, and 0.1%, that is 1%, right? Now let me plot this into a proper histogram, so you'll understand it in a better manner. Then after that is done, you're going to be repeating the same exercise. Now, very simple, go to insert, click here, you'll be able to see a graph which is there. Okay, click on OK. Once you click on OK, you'll be able to see a graph which is plotted. Okay, so you can see that it's more like a normal distribution, starting like this and ending at this. Okay, थोड़ा सा ज्यादा ही है because ITC is very very stable stock, है ना. ITC बहुत ज्यादा stable stock है, इसलिए मैंने ये लिया है. Sir, can I also draw this? Can I also draw this based on the adjusted closing price? You can draw this based on adjusted closing price, but वो data again interpretable नहीं रहेगा. It's very difficult to interpret that data. Okay, you can plot this out, but you'll also get a histogram provided the company's price is trading mostly at a center. Let's try this out. Okay, let's try to plot our histogram based on adjusted closing price. Okay, I hope this is clear. Don't worry, I'll repeat this out to people those who have missed this. Now I'll plot the histogram again based on the adjusted closing price. Okay. Once you do this, again repeating the same process, you know, go to returns, put it over a rows, right? Now, अच्छा return में नहीं था, मुझे adjusted closing price पे चाहिए था. I'll go to adjusted closing price, right? After that is done, click go here, click right click, group, whether I will grouping based on 10, click OK. After that is done, put a returns here, है ना? Or you can put a adjusted closing price here to derive a frequency. Okay, now let's see. Or let me also increase the size to larger extent. Let me increase the group size by 15. Perfectly fine. See, if you can see this out, देखो 120 से 140 के बीच में थोड़ा कम है, highest में थोड़ा कम है, और mostly it's gonna be revolving around the middle only. Let me again plot the histogram. Go to insert. Once you go to insert, click on the charts, right? And after that is done, click on OK. Sir, can I see that it's also a normal distribution? The answer is yes. Okay, the answer is yes. See, price जब कम था, बहुत कम थे chances, but जब center में mostly it's gonna be trading over this price. Okay, center में it's mostly gonna be traded over the same price. And you can also see highest में भी बहुत कम frequency थी, which is there. Also, if you compare it based on a return, right? Better mostly we compare based on a return. Okay, mostly you're going to be comparing based on a return. I hope this is clear to all of you. This is important. Since you being a financial analyst, you should know that how I am putting and comparing the company's data. I hope you got this. How many of you got this? Just write got in a chat box. How many of you got this? It depends on the fluctuation of a share price. Yes, it depends on the share price fluctuations. Now, if you're not getting a normal distribution, say for example, if a company have distributed a dividends, or say for example, if a company have done a stock split, then there are chances that the share price will not form a normal distribution. Now, being an analyst, right, you will have a thought process. Okay, oh, this can be possible, Shivam. Let's drill this down. Kya galat ho raha hai? And that time you will get to know that, okay, there was a stock split, or there was a dividend, there was some uncertain event happened with the company, or some red alert is there. Okay. So we'll do the same also once we'll move to our day 2 tomorrow, जहाँ पे हम financial analysts को और financials को detail में देखेंगे. Now, let's have a small activity. मैं ज़्यादा देर खेलूंगा Excel से तो आप लोग बोर हो जाओगे. ठीक है? Now let's have a small activity. We are gonna be dividing you again into the teams so that people can work this out into the teams and can decide. Now, you are supposed to decide a company favorite of your choice. I'll request everyone to please turn on the videos. Yes, I'll request everyone. So you're supposed to decide a favorite company for which you're going to be doing this activity in next 5 minutes. Okay. And also I'll be putting you into the breakout rooms so that you can interact with the people out. And also थोड़ा सा आपको break भी मिल जाएगा मेरे आवाज से. हाँ बोल रहे हो शर्म आ रही थोड़ी सी भी. हाँ तो you're going to be deciding the company. Take a company of your choice. But remember that you will be following the same company till last day. ओ माय गॉड, मतलब उस कंपनी का बाद में आपको एनालिसिस भी करना होगा, प्रिडिक्शन भी करना होगा. यू विल बी आल्सो डूइंग अ forecast, right? Full group को. Either you can work on a group basis or you can work on an individual basis. I don't have an issue, but I prefer you to work on a group basis, because if you work on an individual basis, it will be very difficult for you to complete and read the financials, right? It will take 4 days if you read the entire financials on your own, because it's not that easy to understand and interpret it. Or you have a choice that कि sir जो कर रहे हैं वही मैं कर लूं, so that my time is gonna be saved. That is also you can do. ठीक है, तो that is something which you can do. But if you feel like nahi, I want to build something on my own, by the end of the class I should be in a position supposed to do this, तो आप independently choice करो. I'll go for a second, I'll ask you to go for a second option, because देखो ITC से तो देख लिया ना, अभी कर लिया, right? You know how to do for ITC. Let's try for some new stocks out and let's try to research it. Okay, I hope you agree on this, right? It's your choice, it's your life, it's your goals, right? You need to decide what you want to do at the end of the day. ठीक है, but my intention for a live class is very clear that कि साथ में अगर आप करोगे ना, बनाना चालू करोगे, you will be in a state and position to work on all this. Okay, so great. I'll divide the rooms into the breakout rooms, right, in a minute. And after that is done, please ensure that you're working on discussing on the companies which you want to work into, and perform the same thing, because after that is done, we'll move to the calculation of beta in the advanced level of discussion. Okay, so that you are aware of with your companies out. Are you excited, guys? Are you excited to make some new friends out? Are you excited to see that whether your company is making the normal distribution or not? If you are excited, तो लिख दो ना excited in the chat box, guys. Come on. Oh my God, Shivang is like, I am very excited, sir. I am very excited. Yo, Honey Singh क्यों लिख दिया? ठीक है, चलो great. Yes, chalo great. Okay, so I'll be dividing you into the smaller rooms. Just have a lot of interaction with you guys, but remember that you have only 5 minutes to interact with your people out. In each breakout room, we'll have approximately 5 people out. So we'll be making somewhere around 7, 8, 15. Okay. In each breakout room, there will be 5 people out. So I'll request you to please interact with this. Okay. हाँ, नॉर्मल कब बनाना है, नॉर्मल कर आपको एक बार ट्राई करना है कि आ रहा है कि नहीं, नॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है कि नहीं. ओके, सो ग्रेट. ऑन ए मार्क, गेट्स इट. अरे क्या यार, एक ऑन ए मार्क, गेट्स इट. सुबह रिकॉर्डिंग में पीपल विल लाइक व्हाट दिस पीपल आर डूइंग. गो. Because
GR का इफेक्ट है.
हाँ, GR का इफेक्ट है. Please join the breakout rooms, guys. So great. I think all of you must have tried this out. The people, those who are watching on a recording mode, request you to please pick up any of the company of your choice and start working on the same. Now, 2-3 important things which I want you to highlight on. Point number 1, that if you're going to be plotting a return, mostly you'll get a normal distribution. Okay, because return पे normal distribution आ सकता है. But if you're going to be plotting a share price, right, there are chances that it might get a tilted or different sort of curve. Because say for example, अगर 1000 का share price था and stock split हुआ है, तो it might go to 500. ठीक है, तो फिर ऐसे कर्व दिखेगा आपको नीचे जाते हुआ. और there might be case that कि share price में कुछ हुआ है या आपको डिविडेंड्स दिया है, तो फिर से डाउन कर्व दिखेगा. And that is why we request you to please plot a or return wala curve, so that we can have a detailed understanding and better understanding of this. Okay. Now, whenever you do this, also you are expected to ensure that कि कहीं ना कहीं अगर tilt आ रहा है in a share price, you are also doing an analysis of the same. What is the reason which led to a tilted curve, or what is the reason why there is a change? Now we'll cover the doubts at the end, है ना, थोड़ा सा end में लेंगे, because I want to move ahead, आगे बढ़ते हैं. So that we can complete the today's section. Now, after that is done, let's also plot our graph. Comparing to the benchmark which we are going to be considering as a Nifty. Okay, मैं Nifty को similar way में I'll be plotting the graph for a Nifty. I'll be plotting the share price for a Nifty. I'll be putting a Nifty index, and after that is done, I'll compare my ITC का share with a Nifty. Okay, and I'll try to derive the line of best fit for the same. Okay, what is line of best fit? I'll explain it. Now, again, continuing with our sharing of screen, I'll request you to pay the attention on the screen. Now I'll go for Nifty 50. Nifty 50. Okay, perfectly fine. Click on search. I hope my screen is visible to you guys. Okay. Now please do remember that same period is supposed to be taken. You cannot compare the different periods. Kafi baar many of you might do such mistakes this out. Go to historical data. Once you click on the historical data, do you remember the period for which I have selected this out? Right. So I have taken it from 2020, 1st January, right? So I'll click on the period. I'll scroll this down. I'll take from 1st January 2020 to 30th of May. Right, mostly preferable that you will cover a minimum 2 periods data, so that you can at least 2 years data, so that you can at least get a good numbers to compare with. So larger the data, more chances that your data will have less chances that your data will be incorrect. Okay, click on OK. Once that is done, click on apply. Okay, after you click on apply, you'll be able to get the database. Once that is done, click on download. Now, once you download, again, remember that CSV file, we'll open this out. Once you open this, very important point. First point is data crunching, right? Alt-H-O-I. I have ensured that I've made it into the proper format. Let's copy this in our main working file where I was working into. Okay, this was the file where I was working into, right? I can also request you to please rename it if possible, so that you can easily track this out on a later date. Let me paste the data first. Shift F11, Control A, Control C. I'll do Control V. Alt H O R NIFTY, Nifty data. Okay, this was Alt H O R ITC data. Okay, this is ITC written. Please ensure that you rename the tabs, right? So that, or you can rename it based on the way you want. Alt H O R and the normal distribution for share price. Right, normal distribution for return, ITC. Okay, you can also update it as a ITC, so that later on you will come to know that what you have done. Now, again, coming to the data crunching. See, once you have taken a data, please see this carefully. Many of you might do a mistake here. After that is done, right, you will put a filters and let's analyze the data, whether the data is correct or not. If you see and open it out, just go to the end. Can you see null? Can you see null? Right? Let's see. It's a 14th of November 2020. Can you guess what must be this date or why the data is null here? Can anyone guess? 14th of November 2020. Why data is null? Okay, can anyone guess this out? Oh, Diwali. The stock split कैसे हो सकता है भाई? Nifty का stock split कैसे होगा? है ना? Okay, Diwali. So again, what we can do is that you have two options. Either you can remove this, or you can take a previous day stock price, a previous day price which was there. Okay. If you do a data crunching, if you do not do a data crunching and if you perform on the same, आपका पूरा analysis गलत हो जाएगा, because वो error देना start कर देगा. So what I can do is that I'll take a previous day का thing, है ना? I'll copy this, Control C, Control V, so that ये पूरा ऊपर से link कर लिया. Now, if I do this, there are chances that data will move. So what I need to do, I need to do page special. So Control C, Alt H, VV. Okay, I have done a page special for the cells which I have copied. Okay, page special ho gaya. Now, what all things is important for me is the adjusted closing price and the date. Right? Adjusted closing price and the date. Now let me see how many duration or how many intervals I have selected this out. So if you see, I've taken 599 counts, right? And also for the ITC, if you see, I've taken the 599 counts. Okay. If that is not parallel, then again, it's very difficult to calculate a beta for the same stock, right? Thus calculate the beta with comparison to the market. Okay. Now let me go and copy this. Control C. I'll try to plot it here itself so that it's gonna be easy for me to compare on a later date. Control C, Control V. Alt H O I, Control 2. perfectly fine. Now, can I calculate the return? Okay, I can calculate the return, this divided by this minus 1. Okay, I've taken the return out. Okay. See, formatting is important because at the end of the day, you should be able to see your numbers in a presentable format. Okay, that is done. Now I've calculated the return for the Nifty. I've also calculated the return for this. Okay. Now, what I want to do is that I wanted to see that what is a relationship between the stock price and the relationship, the return of a stock price versus a return of the Nifty. Okay, I wanted to see this. What is a relationship between a return of ITC versus what was the return which was given by the market. Now, before this, I also want to introduce one of the important concept, which is the line of best fit. And before I do this, I want to know that what is the equation of a normal line. In mathematics, you must have heard, right? What is the equation of any normal distribution line?
X plus
Equal to
A plus
mx
bx.
plus
A plus B
A
or
plus
Y equals to
BX.
MX plus C.
A plus BX.
Y is equal to
MX
A
plus
plus
C
BX.
or A plus BX, whichever you have studied it in your curriculum, right? जो भी आपने पढ़ा होगा, right? You must have studied this. Now, what we are going to be doing is that we are going to be performing some detailed analysis. We are going to be performing the regression also, and we are going to be performing the descriptive statistics for the same. Okay, so let me put this out. Y equals to mx plus c or y equals to a plus bx, जो भी आपने पढ़ा है, your mathematics teacher, your favorite. Okay, again, I'll share my screen. Okay. Now, what I'll be doing is that I'll be plotting the curve and I'll be understanding this equation in very detail. So what I'll do, I'll go to data analysis tab. And after I go to data analysis tab, first I'll perform a descriptive statistics for this. Okay. After you click on OK, it's going to be asking for an input range. Okay, it's going to be asking me for an input range. Now, also I want to introduce the concept of X and Y. Oh my God, कुछ तो याद आ रहा है? Now, X is a independent variable.
market
Right?
index
Can anyone tell me what is an independent variable here?
index
market.
The market is always considered as a, yeah. So the market is always considered as an independent variable, and the share price of ITC is a dependent external factors which we consider as a Y.
Y.
Okay. Now I'll plot X as my market return and Y as my dependent variable, which is the share price of the return of ITC. Okay, so just a second, I'll unmute every one of you. Okay, yes, perfect. Now X को मैंने ले लिया ये. Can I take a Y as this? Right. Okay. Now, oh, so sorry. Right, I got a return for the entire period. Now let me do a page special to this. Control C, Alt H VB, so that I can easily compare the same. Now, based on the return which I have got and based on the data which I've got, right? So I'll be also try to put the adjusted closing price for both of this, or I'll be also able to, what I'll try to do, I'll also create a line here. I'll also put one more column. I'll try to take the adjusted closing price, which is for X for your, so sorry. I'll take adjusted closing price for market and for ITC share. Okay. Okay. Yeah, perfectly fine. Now, what I'll do a data analysis. I'll go to data. I'll go to data analysis tab and descriptive statistics for the same. I need to understand the details of a data in detail. So request everyone to also click on labels because we'll be selecting the first as a label. I'll try to select this both the columns because I want to see and analyze both the data, both the share price of the company, and after that is share price of company versus a market. I'll click on OK. Just a second. कुछ तो error आ गया. हाँ. First row this. I've spreadsheet OK and OK. कुछ तो आ रहा है. Let me check. आजा भाई आजा. हाँ. Choose at least one statistical option. ठीक है. Now I need to select that what I want. I need to select a summary of data, summary of statistics. अच्छा. Again ये change हो गया है. Let me put this out again. Okay. Click on enter. And I need a summary of all this. Label as a first row and click on OK. You will get a summary of the entire data. Oh my God, this is important. Let's understand this. Okay. एक second. ये database हट गया है. I don't know why. I've done a cut paste. That is reason. Okay. Now for the market, I got some of the details about the market, right? What all things are there. Now you can easily interpret this out. Now this is going to be helping me to interpret the data. The mean for the market which is there is 14,000. The mean for ITC was this, right? The standard error is this, median is this, mode is this, standard deviation is this, sample variance is this, kurtosis and skewness is this, range is this, minimum is this, maximum is this, sum is this, count is this. I'll explain you one by one so that you can understand this. Mean is easy, everyone can understand, right? Mean is the average, which people understand this out. उसमें कोई rocket science नहीं है ना? Next is the median. Median is very simple, right? Median में कोई rocket science नहीं है. It's a middle value. Next is the mode based on the frequency जो सबसे ज़्यादा repeat हो रहा है. That is a mode which it has been shown. That is 170 might have repeated twice or thrice, right? And that is why it's showing a median as 170. Now, what does standard deviation means? Please do understand. If you are making a note, you can also write it down. Standard deviation is going to be representing that it's an average deviation. Say for example, agar ITC ka share price at the end, if I see the last share price of ITC which I have taken was 269, and if I compare this price with the median price of ITC, which is this, so there is a deviation or an average deviation of a share which is amounting to 29, but that does not mean that it's a maximum deviation. Okay. What does standard deviation means? कि averagely data कितना deviate होगा central value से, mean से कितना deviate होगा. ठीक है. हो सकता है कि डेटा ज्यादा deviate हो सकता है डेटा कम deviate हो, but ये average deviation हो रहा है, इसलिए हम कह रहे हैं उसको standard deviation. ठीक है. Next, variance, again square of standard deviation which is there. Okay. Kurtosis और skewness अभी मैं explain नहीं करूंगा, नहीं तो बहुत ज्यादा lecture भारी हो जाएगा. ठीक है. Now range. What does range means? If you see a minimum value and maximum value, can you see a minimum value and maximum value of the shares which has been mentioned? Yes. And if you take a difference between these two, it is going to be representing a range. Okay. It is going to be representing a range which is this. And count is the data. Data का कितना count है. What I tried to do is that I tried to validate my data and understand this. ठीक है. ये मैंने समझ लिया data को. Now, again, standard error क्या होता है? So standard error is standard deviation divided by under root of n. Oh my God. Standard error is standard deviation divided by under root of n is a standard error. अब कैसे निकालते हैं, क्या निकालते हैं? I hope you understand and remember the formula of standard deviation. कोई जरूरत नहीं है, अगर याद नहीं है तो we have Excel where we can use this out. I'll tell you how to do this. इतना ज्यादा important नहीं है, but just telling you the overview of the same. Okay. Next. Moving to the next part, which is this. ये चीज आपने समझ ली. मैंने इसका क्या किया? What I've done is that I've done a descriptive statistic. Now I'll move to the second important part where I want to see and plot the entire share price of ITC versus the market price, and I want to analyze my share for the company. I want to see the predicted line, and I also wanted to develop a line of best fit. Okay, I'll explain this by using iPad before. ठीक है, मैं पहले iPad से समझा देता हूँ so that you can also understand this in a better manner. Just let me present my screen. आजा भाई. अरे ये दूसरे लैपटॉप पे जा रहा है. हाँ perfectly fine, perfectly fine. Yes, I hope my screen is visible. If it is visible, you can show thumbs up. Thumbs up दिखा दो please. ऐसे thumbs up दिखा दो. अच्छा, दिख रहा है. Now, say for example, right? There is a price. There is a two things. One is ITC share price. So sorry. One is a ITC share price, and one is a Nifty, right? Now, what I'll be trying to plot is that I have a common parameter, which is a date. For a one particular date, let's take, for example, 1st March 2021. The share price of ITC, I'm assuming that ITC is 210 rupees. The Nifty for that will be, say, for example, 10,800. Assume. Okay. Now, based on that, can I plot a graph on my x-axis and y-axis? Can I easily plot a graph based on x-axis and y-axis? Right? Can I plot a graph on x-axis and y-axis? Answer is yes. Right? So on x-axis, this is my x, this is my y. Right? Can I plot a Nifty here and ITC here? Yes. Now, based on that, I can plot some graph. So say, for example, it comes to this. Similarly, I have a data for how many days? 599 observations. Do you remember that I have a database for 599 observations? Yes. Can I plot this 599 points into a graph itself? Yes. Right. There will be multiple positions which are there. And based on that, after I have plotted a graph, I want to develop a line which is a line of best fit. Which is a line of best fit, which is gonna be helping me out to understand that how the data is divided. And also what I'll try to do is that I need to see a correlation between the share of ITC versus a share of Nifty. What does the correlation means? It's a relationship between two things. It's a relationship between two things. Say for example, अगर ITC का share price बढ़ा, तो क्या मेरा Nifty बढ़ा क्या? Yeah, if my Nifty is increased, whether my share price was increased or decreased, right? Whether my if the share price is, if the Nifty is increased, whether my share price was increased or not, जिसको हम R बोलते हैं. Are you remembering? अपने SFM में पढ़ा होगा R, right? Which ranges from -1 to +1, right? How many of you remember this? R is a correlation which ranges from -1 to +1. कितने लोग को याद आ रहा है अपना SFM? याद आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? R निकालते थे आप लोग. कुछ लोग छुप के बैठ गए फिर से. उनको डर लग रहा है कि भैया SFM आ रहा है तो थोड़ा सा डर लगेगा. डरने की कोई बात नहीं है. जय माता दी बोलिए और आगे बढ़िए. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. जहां समझ में नहीं आएगा मेरे को बोल देना, मैं समझा दूंगा. ठीक है, राइट? हाँ. नाउ मैंने क्या, अगर if I'm able to find out the correlation which is -1 to 1, which ranges from -1 to 1, can I also found out a correlation between the stock and also the Nifty? If I can do this, I can also able to plot and get what is an equation for my line of best fit, which is y equals to mx plus c, or what you say is ab or ax plus b, right? Again, depending on what you say, right? Can I easily get a equation for my line which I'll be drawing? Answer is yes, I can get that. Okay. Now, I hope also you remember. If you don't remember, it's completely fine. But just to tell you, what was R? R is nothing but what? Covariance of x, y divided by standard deviation of x by standard deviation of y. Not needed, but just telling you out. ये formula है. Excel में you have a lot of shortcuts which you can follow to derive all this. Will be using the shortcut, but I hope you understand the meaning of R. R is a correlationship between a data. दोनों का रिश्ता दिखाएगा. ठीक है, क्या वो रिश्ता पॉजिटिव है या नेगेटिव है? ठीक है, अब कुछ लोग को बरोबर से समझ में आ रहा है रिश्ते की बात हुई तो. ठीक है, तो दैट इज देयर. नाउ आफ्टर दैट इज डन, let's plot this and understand that what is a correlation between, what is a correlationship between the ITC share price and your Nifty. ITC and Nifty के बीच में निकालते हैं कि कितना प्यार है दोनों के बीच में. Let's see a positive correlation है कि negative correlation है, right? Let's understand this. Okay. Now, I've taken this. Now what I'll do, I'll go to again data. After I go to data, I need to run a regression. Okay. What I need to do, I need to run a regression. Data analysis. Aja bhai. Once I go to data analysis, I need to run a regression. Okay. I click on regression. Okay. Now I need to put a input for X range. Input for X range. What is my X? X is my market price, right? X is my market. So I'll click on market, select, arrow down. I've selected this out. Input for input for Y. So sorry, input for Y tha, hai na? So input my Y is this ITC share price. Once that is done, okay. Second input for X, that is done. Input a market, that is done. The first row was label. The first row was label. What I wanted to understand is that I wanted to have a line of best fit. I wanted to have a line of best fit, right? And after that is done, I click on OK. Oh my God, you will be able to see something great coming up. Oh, kuch to dekha, right? Kuch to dekha, right? If you see this and if you expand this, okay, let's see and interpret this. Okay, it really looks cool, right? Really looks cool. How many of you feel this? It is a cool. Just write cool in a chat box. How many of you feel that it's cool, right? How many of you feel this? It's cool, right? Just cool. Write cool in a chat box. How many of you feel this? It's cool. Okay, people are saying it's cool, right? So easy. Children's Day. Achha, someone is saying Children's Day. Achha, no Children's Day. Awesome, awesome, right? Now let's see how we can interpret this out. Do you remember x-axis? Why we are getting the x-axis as a market price? Because, right? I hope you remember this x-axis mein market aa gaya, y-axis mein ITC share price. Now, the things which I've mentioned was you are getting a graph which is plotted based on the market price and the ITC share that is there, and it is drawing a predicted ITC share, predicted graph for a ITC share, which is a line of best fit, which is y equals to mx plus c. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am able to get this, right? That's very simple. Now let's interpret this. Let's interpret this. Let's go to the advanced level. Now the equation for a line is always y equals to mx plus c, right? Mx plus c, which is there, or whatever you call as AB or something sort of, right? Now, y is my share price for ITC. Right? Why is my share price for ITC? What is X? What is X? X is, can anyone tell me? Unmute karke bata do. Anyone please tell me what is X?
Nifty ka price.
Nifty.
Right? Nifty. X is Nifty. Right. Now, right. And now if I know my X, can I predict what my Y will be? If I know कि भैया अगर Nifty तुम्हारा इतना है, can you predict my Y? Can you predict my Y? The answer is yes. Now, say for example, I want to calculate what my Y will be. So once you run this, you get a data and intercept. Okay, you get a data and intercept. Now, this is very important. This is one of the most important thing which is gonna be helping you out. Now, I have gonna be framing that Y equals to your M is 0.008491054 plus your C is 74.3164. You got a curve. Oh, sorry, this is into X, right? Oh my God. Oh my God. Acha, I got an equation for what? You got an equation for share price of ITC. Sir, how this is derived? Again, I don't want to get into derivation. If I go into derivation, you'll be like, sir, statistics ka class ho gaya, sir. But now we are an analyst, right? We need to understand how to analyze the data. So let's go into this. Now, this is what is a beta is. But if I need to convert it to, I need to multiply by 100, right? Because I need to convert it into percentage. Okay, because मैंने return का नहीं लिया ना, मैंने सिर्फ आपका stock का ले लिया, that is why वो नहीं आ रहा है, but I need to compare for a return. ठीक है, तो I'll be able to get a beta. अभी मैं उस पे नहीं जा रहा हूँ, when it will move to beta, we'll discuss on the same. Now I got an equation y equals to mx plus c, and based on this, they have plotted this out. Predicted ITC share price if I would have taken this. Now let me predict the share price of ITC based on this. I hope you got this. How I derived the equation, right? M is this. And your C is this. Okay. Now I'll plot this out. I'll take this numbers I'll copy this. Oh, sorry, I'll copy this equation. Okay. I'll go to this. I'll go to this here. Now I'll plot the expected or predicted share price. My equation was y equals to mx plus c. Right, remove this. This is my, this is your predicted share price, right? Let's copy from here. Let's see predicted ITC share price. What is my predicted ITC share price? Okay. Now, what is my x? Am I aware of what is my x is? Yes, I know the market price, which is x, right? What I'm supposed to do? I'll put equal to, I'll go here into this. That's it. Oh my God. So I'll get a number for a predicted ITC share price. Okay, which is a predicted ITC share price. Now, if you see the actual share price is 205, right? If you see the actual share price was 205, and if I take a difference, which is this, right? So there is a delta which has been shown, and if you compare this number with this, if you compare this number with this, you will see the same thing, which the system has already done for you. Oh my God, it's saying for a first observation, if you see the first observation, this was the first observation, right? When the market price was 12,182, or when Nifty was 12,182, I was predicting if there is a 100% linear, or if the share price would have been acted in a similar manner. If the share price would have been acted in a similar manner, or if there was a R, if R would have been 1, then I would have assumed that अगर दोनों 100% correlated होते तो ITC का share price 177 होता, right? अगर share price जितना बढ़ता, अगर निफ्टी जितना बढ़ता और उतना share price बढ़ता, तो ITC का share price इतना होता, right? But वो नहीं था, because आपका R जो था वो इतना था, कितना? 83%. What is your R? I hope you understand the meaning of R. The relationship between the share price versus the Nifty was 83%, and that is why you can see the delta which is there in the share price versus the market return. Right? You can see the delta in the share price and the market return. Right? I hope you got this. I hope you got this. Right? अगर आप देखो यहाँ पे average भी कितना आ रहा है? 0.08. Can you see this? 0.0891. दिख रहा है किसी को? 0.0891. This one, right? The average here is 0.0891, which is again representing somewhere in line of this. क्योंकि उतने का again मतलब that is something मतलब वो तो average आपका रिटर्न का है, तो इसको अगर मुझे फिर से और निकालना पड़ेगा कि कितना इसमें डेल्टा आ रहा है, right? But what I mean to say is, just to summarize this, my predicted ITC share price would have been this, but it is different from actual price. This is my actual, right? And this is my predicted. If this prediction would have worked, provided if my R would have been 1. मतलब अगर दोनों properly correlated होते तो ये मेरा 100% काम करता. But मेरा R कितना है? मेरा R इतना है. So there are chances that 1 minus this 16% का डेल्टा आएगा, जो भी आप assume करोगे उसमें. 16% का डेल्टा आएगा जो भी आप उसमें assume करोगे उसमें. Okay, right? So what I did till now, what I've done, I have predicted कि expected share price इतना होगा based on market if the data would have been correlated. I tried to bring out the equation for y equals to mx plus c. Right now, I also know that कि there is a R which is 83%. मतलब correlated डेटा जो है 83% सही होने का आपका चांस है कि 83% जो है दोनों के बीच में रिलेशनशिप है ना. इट्स अ पॉजिटिव कोरिलेशन. आई होप यू कैन सी दिस. दिस अ पॉजिटिव कोरिलेशन. ठीक है. एंड इफ वुड हैव बीन नेगेटिव तो आगे नेगेटिव साइन आ जाता. नेक्स्ट, मैंने ये देखा कि आईटीसी का क्या जो प्रेडिक्टेड प्राइस था वो कितना डेविएशन आ रहा है मेरे एक्चुअल से, राइट? So this is what I want you to understand about the ITC share. Okay, this is something which I want you to understand about the ITC share. Now, similarly, can you plot or can you also derive the predicted share price for your company? Can you also derive the predicted share price for your company, whichever company you have taken? Can you do this? Can you do this? कर सकते हैं, नहीं कर सकते? It's very simple. right? It's very simple, right? कर सकते हैं नहीं कर सकते? How many of you can do this? Yes. How intercept is calculated on this? Intercept हमने रिग्रेशन जब रन किया तो वहां से हमारा आ गया, इंटरसेप्ट अपने आप आ गया. How many of you feel that कि sir I can also do the same activity? How many of you feel that कि sir I can also do the same activity? Okay, got it. How many of you feel this, sir I can also do the same activity? Okay, सर इंटरसेप्ट कैसे किया? मैं फिर से समराइज कर देता हूं, the people those who have missed this out और थोड़ा सा जिनको मिस आउट हो गया है, right? I'll try to repeat this out so that you doesn't miss this out because this is important. Now what I did was very simple. मैंने क्या किया, सबसे पहले मार्केट का रिटर्न लिया, शेयर का रिटर्न लिया, शेयर लिया, राइट? दोनों के प्राइसेस मैंने प्लॉट किए. What I've done is that I've gone to data. Once I go to data, I've gone to data, I've gone to data analysis and I clicked on regression. Okay, regression में I have selected what will be my x, what will be my y, and here I have selected the line fit plots. Okay, after that is done, I have also clicked on labels and clicked on OK. Okay, once I have done this, I've got I got this. ठीक है, मुझे ये मिला. अब इसके थ्रू मुझे ग्राफ मिला जिसको मैंने इंटरप्रेट करके समझा कि भाई देखो निफ्टी का प्राइस ये था, अच्छा सो सॉरी, अच्छा कंट्रोल जी, निफ्टी का प्राइस मेरा ये था और जब प्रेडिक्टेड आईटीसी प्राइस था which is based on y equals to mx plus c, on basis of that it has plotted a graph. Okay, now question comes is how did you derive the equation for y equals to mx plus c? So it has shown you the details कि भैया देखो आपका जो m रहेगा वो ये रहेगा और c जो रहेगा वो ये रहेगा इंटरसेप्ट. ठीक है, अब ये एक स्टैटिस्टिकल फॉर्मूला से आता है. अब उसमें हम नहीं जाएंगे कि सर कैसे निकालते हैं, आप बताओ मेरे को, फॉर्मूला समझाओ पूरा, राइट? अगर मैं उसमें जाऊंगा तो पूरा 1-2 दिन उसमें ही चला जाएगा आपको समझने के लिए, है ना? तो आई डोंट वांट यू टू गेट इनटू दिस. आप समझ लो कि y इक्वल्स टू mx प्लस c का ये आ गया और उसके बेसिस पे कैन आई डिराइव y, कि y क्या हो सकता है? आंसर इज यस. कैन आई डिराइव x, व्हाट इज देयर, एंड आफ्टर दैट इज डन आई कैन प्रिडिक्ट द प्रेडिक्टेड शेयर प्राइस ऑफ आईटीसी. और जो भी मेरा रेसिडुअल आ गया, राइट, आई कैन इजीली एबल टू सी दिस आउट कि भैया इतना मेरा रेसिडुअल बच गया है. Now, if I see that how much the data are correlated with the market, so you can see that the data, which is a correlation between the two things out, which is called as a R, right, which ranges from -1 to 1. ठीक है, कि डेटा में कैसा रिश्ता है, राइट? अगर पॉजिटिव कोरिलेशन है तो पॉजिटिव रहेगा, नेगेटिव है तो नेगेटिव में आपको दिखेगा. ठीक है, नाउ आफ्टर दैट इज डन यू विल बी एबल टू सी दैट भैया डेटा इतना कोरिलेटेड है, 83% डेटा कोरिलेटेड है. ठीक है, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू गाइस. I hope this is clear. If it is clear, just write clear in a chat box. If it is clear, just write clear in a chat box. लिखो ना, अरे लिख भी दो. Yes, yes, yes. Don't worry. Got it. Now, अभी जो रिकॉर्डिंग मोड में देख रहे हैं आप सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है कि अभी तक के आपने जितना भी किया है आप एक बार उसको इस लेवल तक ला लो. ठीक है, जितना भी आपने किया है, जो रिकॉर्डिंग में देख रहे हैं मेरे दोस्त भाई लोग, आप इस लेवल तक के ला लो, बिकॉज आगे जब हम बढ़ेंगे तो ऐसा ना हो जाए कि आपको थोड़ा सा मिस आउट हो जाए. दैट इज व्हाई रिकॉर्डिंग वाले अभी पॉज करो और आप इस चीज को ऐसे आगे इतना कंप्लीट कर लो सो दैट हम आगे बढ़ जाए. सो ग्रेट. आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट जो रिकॉर्डिंग में देख रहे हैं, राइट, यू मस्ट हैव बीन एबल टू अचीव टिल दिस पॉइंट. अगर नहीं समझा है तो डेफिनेटली वी हैव आवर डिस्कशन ग्रुप, वहां पे आप पूछ सकते हो. लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट एंड फाइनल टॉपिक फॉर आवर क्लास, व्हिच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Right, few of you must have already studied this out, few of you not studied this out, so don't worry. I'll tell you कि कैसे आपको अभी next part का cover करने वाले हैं हम लोग and what is included there. Now the next part is more related to your value at risk, where we are going to be understanding the maximum possible loss, right, which is going to be there. Now before I go into this, let me explain you the concept of value at risk, and after that is done we'll be able to understand that how does this function works. Okay, now let me assume that, or assume yourself as a investment banker for a while. Assume that you are an investment banker. Oh my god, that means I am someone who is into a trading team. Let's assume that you are an investment banker. ऐसा थोड़ा सा कॉलर ऊपर कर सकते हो if you want. अच्छा ठीक है, give a smile if you are an investment banker. Perfectly fine. Okay, now assume that you are into a trading team, right? You are a part of a trading team where you are investing into stocks. Okay, where you are investing someone's money into the stocks. right? Now imagine that you have invested in ITC and where you have purchased the 10 lakh shares. Oh my God, 10 lakh shares of ITC you have purchased. Since you being into a trading team, you decided to purchase the ITC shares and you bought a 10 lakh shares for ITC. Now, you need to decide a maximum possible loss. Say, for example, Shivam Palan was an investor, right? Or assume that Shivam Palan hi le lete. Shivam Palan is an investor who came to you stating that I want to invest my money, right? And he has given you 100 crore of rupees. Oh my God, hopefully I can achieve this net worth someday. Shivam Palan has given you 100 crore of rupees. You have invested into the ITC share. And after that is done, right? I asked you one question. Can you please tell me what will be my maximum possible loss? Maximum possible loss for one day. Can you please tell me कि मेरा कितना maximum loss हो सकता है एक दिन में? Right? The time I started referring to this, that means I am introducing a concept of value at risk. War. Now, whenever I talk about the war is always coming with two things. It comes with a time horizon and it comes with a confidence level. Right? It comes with a time horizon and it comes with a confidence level. Right? And is everyone aware that कि stock market में हर दिन अलग-अलग share perform करता है? Right? Now, we are going to be taking a time horizon of one day. Right? And confidence level, let's assume it as of 95%. Matlab ki, let me interpret for you guys. Let me explain you. Now, say for example, if I take a confidence level of 95% for one day, and there is a loss, or if you calculate a war value at risk, right? We'll not go into the formula now, we'll go it soon. I will interpret as the maximum possible loss in a day can be 2 crores at 95% confidence level. What I'm saying, maximum loss मेरे को 2 करोड़ का हो सकता है at 95% confidence level. What about the 5%? There can be a loss more than 2 crores. There can be a loss more than 2 crores, right? I hope you also remember this normal distribution again. Oh, so sorry. कुछ तो थोड़ा सा गलत हो गया end में. I hope you remember this normal distribution, right? What I'm saying is that the maximum possible loss, which is going to be 2 crores, right? At 95% confidence level. But for this 5%, it can exceed 2 crores. Okay. So what I'm saying is that the maximum possible loss at a 95% confidence level is 2 crores. What about the tail situation? It will exceed the 2 crores. Okay. Now, what I am doing is that I came to you, I asked you, okay, can you please invest my 100 crore of rupees? You said I can invest. You have bought a 10 lakh shares for ITC. You invested into ITC. Okay. Now I came and asked you, okay, can you please tell me what will be my maximum possible loss tomorrow at a 95% confidence level, right? At a 95% confidence level. Now, there are multiple ways to derive this. Okay. There are 3 methods to derive this. One is a historical, okay, historical simulation. Second is a bootstrap simulation. Okay. And third is a Monte Carlo simulation. Okay. There are 3 ways to derive this. Historical simulation, bootstrap simulation, and Monte Carlo. Okay. But now I will cover only historical, because if I cover this out, तो बहुत ज़्यादा detail में हो जाएगा. But I want to cover a historical simulation method now for today's class. Okay. What does historical simulation means? Whatever have been happened in the past, जो भी past में written आए हैं, it's gonna be happening the same situation in the future. Okay. Whatever have been happened in the past, it's gonna be a same situation which is gonna be happening in the future. ठीक है? जो past में हुआ है वो future में repeat होगा. उसका मतलब होता है historical. Simple है? Now, जो मैंने इतना विज्ञान दिया, let's perform the same in Excel. Let's perform the same in Excel. जो past में आपका written आया है, उसके बेसिस पे फ्यूचर के आपके लॉस होंगे। अगर मैं अज्यूम करता हूं कि पास्ट विल रिपीट, दैट इज अ हिस्टोरिकल, हिस्ट्री रिपीट होगी, ये मैं अज्यूम कर रहा हूं, और उसके बेसिस पे मेरे को कितना लॉस हो सकता है वो मैं निकालना चाहता हूं। ठीक है, मतलब कि कल का शेयर प्राइस क्या हो सकता है 95% कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल पे। ठीक है, लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दिस। आई वांट 100% अटेंशन, बिकॉज थोड़ा सा यहां पे आपको अटेंशन गया तो दुर्घटना घटी और कुछ और ही हो जाएगा, है ना। तो थोड़ा सा अटेंशन ध्यान रखना बोर्ड पे। ओके, नाउ लेट्स गो बैक टू आवर वर्किंग फाइल। लेट्स गो बैक टू आवर वर्किंग फाइल। फिर से जाता हूं मैं वर्किंग फाइल पे, वर्किंग फाइल फॉर आईटीसी। ठीक है, नाउ आईटीसी रिटर्न। ठीक है, मैंने इस फाइल पे सब काम किया था। नाउ आई विल टेक दिस अगेन, मैं फिर से इसको ले लेता हूं। आई होप दिस इज अ हार्ड पंच नंबर, परफेक्टली फाइन। मैंने रिटर्न्स निकाले थे, राइट, डू यू रिमेंबर दिस? मैंने रिटर्न लिए थे। आई विल कॉपी दिस, आई विल ओपन अ न्यू टैब, आई विल पेस्ट इट हियर, राइट, अल्ट एच ओ आई ना, फॉर्मेटिंग ठीक हो गया। अब आई वांट टू कन्वर्ट दिस इनटू द परसेंटेज बिकॉज आई एम कैलकुलेटिंग अ रिटर्न। ठीक है, अभी मैं रिटर्न्स कैलकुलेट कर रहा हूं, तो आई नीड टू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू द परसेंटेज, अल्ट एच पी। एंड इफ आई वांटेड टू सी सम zeros आउट, यस यू कैन क्लिक अल्ट एच ओ, अल्ट एच जीरो, अल्ट एच जीरो, तो वो मेरा परसेंटेज टर्म्स में प्रॉपर्ली आ गया, राइट। नाउ व्हाट आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड इज दैट आई वांट टू कैलकुलेट एंड सी दैट कि भाई मेरा जो आईटीसी का शेयर होगा विच इज दिस वाई, क्या उसका इंपैक्ट आएगा, या व्हाट विल बी द मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल लॉस एट 95% कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल, राइट। टू कैलकुलेट दिस what I want is the beta. Now question comes is कि sir what is beta? What is beta? Anyone SFM lover in the house who understands what is beta? हिमांशु बोलना चाहता है सर मुझसे पूछ लो यार, मैं तो SFM का टॉपर था, बता दो हिमांशु भाई, what is beta?
Sir, the volatility of a particular stock in relation to the market.
Perfect, right? What is beta is? Beta is the sensitivity of a stock, that is how much my stock is sensitive with a 1% change in a market. Simple. कि अगर मार्केट में अगर आपका शेयर प्राइस 1% से मूव कर रहा है तो मेरा शेयर प्राइस कितने परसेंट से मूव करेगा, राइट। और इन शॉर्ट आई वुड से इट्स अ सेंसिटिविटी टू अ स्टॉक टू अ मार्केट, है ना, कि हाउ योर स्टॉक इज गोना बी परफॉर्मिंग बेस्ड ऑन द मार्केट, right? Very simple. Now what I am gonna be doing is I am gonna be calculating the beta of a stock. मैं beta of a stock निकालूंगा और उसके बेसिस पे मैं देखूंगा कि भाई मेरा स्टॉक कैसे परफॉर्म करने वाला है, how my stock is gonna be performing once I calculate the beta. ठीक है, now coming back to my working file. Now again what I need to do, I need to calculate the beta. Now again go to data. Once you go to data, go to data analysis, we'll go for a regression again, right? I need to calculate my input range X, input range Y. This is my range Y, percentage terms mein. This is my input range X, right? I'll calculate the X, right? After that is done, do I need a line? I don't need a line graph, right? And I need into the same workbook, है ना, मेरे को यहीं पे चाहिए, तो I'll click here, I'll select the range. After that is done, click on OK. Got it, right? Now if you see, this is a beta. If you see, the beta is 0.06 0.069260. This is a beta between the market and the stock. मेरे को बीटा मिल गया, इसका कितना मिला 0.0692. ठीक है, मैंने दोनों का बीटा निकाल लिया। ओके, नाउ इसको मैंने पहले परसेंटेज में कन्वर्ट किया बिकॉज आई वांट टू कैलकुलेट द बीटा। मेरे को परसेंटेज टर्म्स में एक सेम लेवल पे लाके कंपेयर करना पड़ेगा, तभी मैं उसको प्लॉट कर पाऊंगा, राइट, एंड देन ओनली आई विल बी एबल टू कैलकुलेट द बीटा। नाउ आफ्टर आई गॉट द बीटा, मेरे को ये देखना है कि भाई स्टॉक कैसे परफॉर्म करेगा बेस्ड ऑन व्हिच ऑप्शन डिड यू यूज। अगेन आई हैव यूज्ड द सेम ऑप्शन, सॉरी सॉल्वर कहां खुल गया, हाँ, आई हैव यूज्ड दिस डेटा एनालिसिस regression, same things which I have used. Okay, if you're noting it down, you can note it down, I don't have a issue. And if you're noting it down, request you please note it down. Next, now based on this, right? Based on this, what I need to derive is that I need to understand and derive the price of ITC. है ना? So what I am following is that historical. I'll not rename my tab. Historical simulation. Okay. Now, first I'll take the share price of market, which is this. Okay. Okay. I'll put a serial number. 1 equal to plus 1. Now, I'll plug historical simulation. I'll take a beta, right? And always ensure that if you're putting anything out, you're supposed to link with the file from where you're going to be taking this. So link this equal to, and you can directly take it from here. Or what you can do is that you can copy this, right? There's other way to link this out. You can copy this. You can copy this. Okay. Control C, and you, if you want to create a link, Alt E S L. Okay. Please do not press Alt L. If you click Alt, if you do Alt L, street delete हो जाएगा. Hello. Okay. Plus Alt E S L. Okay. If you want to copy this out, आ गया, beta आ गया. Now, based on the return of a market, this is a market return, right? And if I multiply the market return by beta, can I expect the return which is gonna be there for a stock, right? Stock return, right? Equal to this into this, right? So sorry, मैंने freeze नहीं किया उसको, so I need to freeze the cell, है ना, which is by F4. You can freeze the cell by pressing F4, and after that is done, I need to convert it into the percentage. हाँ, so percentage में नहीं, वो already multiply होके आ गया आपका, कि this is what the stock return will be based on the beta which you have derived, right? This is what the stock return will be based on the percentage you have derived. Now, after that is done, I also need to do one more important thing, and that is based on the previous price which was derived, right? Based on the previous price which was derived, I need to predict a future price, right? So what was the last price of a ITC share? What is the last price of a ITC share? The last price for the ITC share was this, if I'm not wrong. The last price for the ITC share was 269.05, right? Now let me go back to my file. I'll need to convert this into the percentage. Mera return meko nikal gaya. Now I need to see this, what will be my future price. So I'll just multiply my stock return with the last share price of the company. I'll press F4 and enter. I got a return for a share price. I got a return for my share price. ठीक है, ये एक expected return हो गया हिस्ट्री के बेसिस पे. ठीक है, what I did, मार्केट का रिटर्न निकाला मैंने, उसको बीटा से मल्टीप्लाई किया, राइट? बीटा से मल्टीप्लाई किया और देखा कि भाई अगर मैं इसको शेयर प्राइस से मल्टीप्लाई करता, मतलब कि योर शेयर प्राइस वाज हाउ मच, 269.05. तो 269.05 into 1%, मतलब इतना आपका रिटर्न होता. ठीक है, हिस्ट्री में, पास्ट में, राइट? Now what I need to do is that I need to calculate a historical simulation. I need to derive कि भाई कल का प्राइस क्या रहेगा, what will be the tomorrow's price if the history would have been repeated. So what I'll do, I'll take a percentile, and I'll take a percentile function, comma, your array is this, right? Comma 0.05. Why 0.05? Because 95% मुझे लेना है at a confidence level. मैं समझाऊंगा फिर से, टेंशन मत लो, right? Which comes to minus 4.0778. समझो इसको क्या बोल रहा है. What is minus 4. So sorry, ऐसा गुस्से से मत देखो, कुछ लोग मुझे गुस्से से देख रहे हैं, right? What is minus 4.0778? It's a maximum possible loss which you will incur tomorrow for a stock of ITC if at a 95% confidence level. समझो फिर से, maximum loss कल मुझे अगर मैं 95% कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल पे निकालूंगा तो कितना होगा, -4.0778. हाउ आई कैलकुलेटेड दिस, फिर से मैं पूरा सा रिवाइज करवा रहा हूं. मैंने क्या किया, मार्केट रिटर्न लिया. ठीक है, मैंने बोला कि भाई अगर मैं मार्केट रिटर्न पे और स्टॉक का अगर मैंने बीटा निकाल लिया कि भाई अगर बीटा 1%, अगर मार्केट 1% से मूव होगा तो मेरा स्टॉक कितने परसेंट से मूव होगा, कैसा मूव होगा, तो वो होगा 0.69 से मूव होगा। ठीक है, ये मैंने निकाल लिया। अब उसके बाद मैंने बोला कि ठीक है भाई देख, तेरा शेयर प्राइस 0.82 था, इसको मैं अगेन इसको जीरो में कन्वर्ट करता हूं तो सो दैट यू कैन इजीली अंडरस्टैंड दिस। हाँ, तो देखो मैंने बोला कि भाई देख, अगर स्टॉक तेरा 82% बढ़ा, 0.82% बढ़ा, मतलब तेरा आईटीसी का शेयर शुड हैव बीन इंक्रीज बाय 0.57, right? Should have been increased by 0.57. That means the last share price which was for ITC was 269 would have been increased by 1.525. लास्ट शेयर प्राइस जो मेरा ये था, राइट, इसको मैं फिर से अलग से पेस्ट कर देता हूं इधर सो दैट यू कैन इजीली सी दिस। लास्ट शेयर प्राइस वाज 269.05, राइट। उसमें मैंने बोला कि भाई मेरा 0.57% बढ़ेगा फ्यूचर में, है ना, बेस्ड ऑन ना, अगर जो हिस्ट्री में होगा वो अगर फिर से रिपीट हुआ तो फ्यूचर में हो सकता है कि ये इतना आपका शेयर प्राइस था, तो दिस प्लस दिस वुड हैव बीन माय शेयर प्राइस टुमारो, राइट, दिस प्लस दिस वुड हैव बीन माय शेयर प्राइस टुमारो। अब इसको मैंने क्या किया कि भाई इसके बेसिस पे मैंने बोला कि भाई ये मेरा शेयर प्राइस हो सकता है, और इसके लिए मैंने पूरे पॉसिबल निकाल लिए रिटर्न्स कि भाई देखो ये तुम्हारा शेयर प्राइस कल हो सकता है फ्यूचर में। कल का शेयर प्राइस मैंने बहुत सारे प्रेडिक्ट कर लिए जो हिस्ट्री में हुआ था उसके बेसिस पे। नाउ मेरे को क्या चाहिए था, आई वांटेड टू सी ओवर अ टाइम होराइजन एंड ओवर अ परसेंटाइल, ठीक है, बिकॉज आई वांटेड टू डिराइव इट ऑन अ 95% कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल। तो मैंने बोला कि व्हाट विल बी माय मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल लॉस, व्हाट विल बी माय मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल लॉस। तो आई सेड दैट आई पुट अ फॉर्मूला परसेंटाइल ऑफ द एंटायर रिटर्न विच यू आर गोना बी गेटिंग टुमारो, उसको मैंने 0.05 पे काटा बिकॉज आई वांट टू हैव अ 95% कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल। ठीक है, नाउ my maximum possible loss which can be you will be getting tomorrow is minus 4.0778. Sir, does that mean that if we increase a confidence level will my loss increase? What do you think? कि मेरे को बोला कि भाई मुझे 99% कॉन्फिडेंस पे निकाल के दिखाओ सर, 99। आप और कॉन्फिडेंस से बोलो ना सर, 99% पे बताओ कि भाई कितना लॉस होगा। तो इफ आई पुट इट टू 0.1, this number would increase or decrease? What do you think? Will this number increase or decrease? What do you think? Will this number increase or decrease? Mention in the chat box. What do you think? If I take at a 99% confidence level, तो क्या ये मेरा इंक्रीज होगा या डिक्रीज होगा? It is gonna be increasing. Oh my God! 99% पे ये इंक्रीज हो गया। गजब। मतलब अगर मैंने बोला सर और कॉन्फिडेंस है कि मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल लॉस एट 99% कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल इज गोना बी 8.91। अच्छा सर और कॉन्फिडेंस से बोलो 100, 0। मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल लॉस 24। कैन यू प्रूव मी किस रे 24 कहां से आया? लेट्स सी इफ आई कॉपी दिस एंड अगेन पुट इट इनटू द न्यू टैब, है ना, मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूं 24 कहां से आया, है ना। जो मैक्सिमम लॉस रहेगा ना वो दिखा दिया इसने, है ना, जो मैक्सिमम लॉस होगा ना वो दिखा दिया। I'll put it I'll put filter, आजा भाई, and after that is done, if you see, right, this is the highest 24.18, right, this is the highest, और यही दिखाया इसने मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल लॉस एट 100% कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल। बिकॉज हिस्ट्री, हेलो, हम हिस्टोरिकल बेसिस पे निकाल रहे हैं ना कि जो पास्ट में हुआ, अगर सबसे ज्यादा लॉस कितना हो सकता है सर अगर पास्ट रिपीट हुआ तो इट्स गोना बी 24 पॉइंट कितना है 188, राइट। इसलिए मैं इसको भी निकाल रहा हूं एट 95% कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल विच इज दिस। समझा क्या? अरे बोलो ना, अरे बोल भी दो, मजा आया क्या? अरे बोलो ना, राइट। मजा आ गया। ग्रेट 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 ग्रेट। नाउ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग सर, ये सब देखने में तो बड़ा मजेदार लग रहा है सर, इट्स रियली गुड सर टू सी ऑल दिस। अच्छा, मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल लॉस मैं सोच रख रहा हूं, मैं प्रिडिक्ट कर सकता हूं कि कल मेरी कंपनी का शेयर प्राइस इतना गिरेगा अगर पास्ट रिपीट हुआ तो। द आंसर इज यस। नाउ अगेन द क्वेश्चन कम्स इज कि आपने जो कंपनी लिया है मेरे दोस्तों भाइयों, आपको उस कंपनी में यू नीड टू परफॉर्म दिस ऑन अ रियल टाइम बेसिस। अदर देन इफ यू आर नॉट गोना बी डूइंग दिस, आपको आगे की क्लास में बहुत दिक्कत होगी समझने में, ठीक है। दैट मीन्स आई नीड टू परफॉर्म दिस अगेन एट लुकिंग एट ऑल दिस। आई नीड टू परफॉर्म right, before I move to the next class. राइट तो आपको ये जो मैंने चीजें की है ना, भले आप रिकॉर्डिंग पॉज करो, फिर से देखो, फिर से प्ले करो, फिर से देखो, इट्स कंप्लीटली फाइन, बट दिस इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज अभी तो हम लोग प्रोजेक्शंस पे नहीं गए, अभी हमने क्या किया है, हमने सिर्फ चीजों को समझा है पार्ट्स में, ठीक है। नाउ बिफोर वी कंक्लूड द क्लास, लेट्स समराइज द एंटायर डिस्कशन, है ना। मोंटी कार्लो भी करवा दो, अरे भाई मोंटी कार्लो आज करवा देंगे तो बच्चे बेचारे घबरा जाएंगे सब, ठीक है। तो मैं मोंटी कार्लो नहीं करवाऊंगा। हाउ टू डिसाइड अ कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल, जनरली ये आप इन्वेस्टर को पूछो कि कितना कॉन्फिडेंस पे वो काम करना चाहते हैं, राइट। तो दैट इज दैट। नाउ कमिंग टू द समराइजेशन ऑफ अ डेटा, देखो हमने कहां से स्टार्ट किया था, वी स्टार्टेड विद द very basic thing, day one. Everything, every file is going to be uploaded in your course section, right, which is there. So I'll request you to please check the course section. We started with the basic formula, quick access toolbar, grid lines, aldi, altar, macros मैंने बताने का बचा, I'll tell you tomorrow. Rename the tab, analysis, see the formulas, merge cell, copy cell, paste special, divide formula, which I've told you out, transpose, freezing, how to calculate a growth, how to open a new tab, autocorrect, and how to validate a data and how to put a drop down, which I have told you out. Then we move to the ITC का share price. मैंने आपको Yahoo Finance से data उठवाया था. Then I have told you कि adjusted closing price is something which we are going to be referring to. After that is done, we have also taken the data for Nifty, and once that is done, we have taken both the data price, and based on that, we have checked that कि whether my data is going to be forming a normal distribution or not, right? तो इसलिए मैंने बोला था कि आप अभी रिटर्न का कैलकुलेट करोगे, रिटर्न का प्लॉट करोगे, बिकॉज स्टॉक प्राइस में देयर माइट बी अ डेल्टा, ठीक है। तो दैट इज देयर, आपने नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन देखा कि मेरी कंपनी का इज द डेटा इज फॉर्मिंग अ नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। आफ्टर दैट इज डन, वी हैव ट्राइड अ टू इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन, राइट। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव ट्राइड वन फंक्शन वेयर वी हैव सीन कि आपका जो डिस्क्रिप्टिव है ना, डेटा एनालिटिक्स स्टेप में, डेटा में गए आप, डेटा एनालिसिस में, you have tried to compare what? You tried to compare the Nifty and your share price, where you have seen the descriptive statistics for the data. आपने descriptive statistics run किया, ये Excel function सीखा, फिर उसके बाद, right after that is done, we have tried to plot the graph of your share price and your market. इन दोनों को आपने plot किया in a regression, and you tried to derive a line of best fit. ये line of best fit आपने derive किया, and you also tried to derive the formula. Right, उसके basis पे you have seen that what will be my predicted price of a ITC share, right? After we have derived the predicted price of ITC share, we also understood the importance of R कैसे निकालते हैं. After that is done, we have seen that कि okay, we'll move to the new concept. We decided कि see, let's understand that if based on the history which is there, can I predict my share price if the history repeats itself? Where comes a concept of a value at risk, which is a maximum possible loss which you're going to be incurring, right, at some confidence level and given a time horizon. We have calculated, we have again run a same function, we have run a regression function. मैंने regression function run किया और जिसके through मैंने beta calculate किया, right? After the beta calculation is done, right? After the beta calculation is done, beta calculation was done based on the return of both the stocks and the markets. After I've calculated a beta, I've said that we want to derive the historical price. We want to derive a future price based on a history. So what I did was I plotted a market price. I plotted a stock return, right? I've derived a stock return based on market price into beta. And after that is done, I've multiplied the stock return into my share price. Okay, जिससे मेरे को एक expected return मिल गया कि भाई मेरा share price में कितना मिलेगा. And after that is done, I've calculated a value at risk, जिसको मैंने formula डाला percentile of entire thing, entire जो मेरा return आ सकता है उसको मैंने 95% पे कट करके दिखाया. I also told you that if you put it at 1, it's gonna be increasing, and if you put at 0, that means the maximum possible loss is gonna be 24.1886, जिसको मैंने derive करके बताया कि ये highest value जो था आपका वहां से derive हो गया. And this is what we have covered in the today's class, right? So great. I'm expecting the people, those who are watching the recordings and also attending the live, are expected to complete their database and ensure that this is completed before you come to the tomorrow's class. And I hope that you must have loved the session, and see you inside the next class. Thank you guys.